Time now for an in-depth look at the market news as we start the week. And for that, I'm joined on the line by Dr. Jun-sok, professor of economics at the Catholic University of Korea. Professor Young, thanks for coming on today.
Happy to be here.
Stocks in New York closed at new all-time highs last Friday, despite December employment coming in worse than expected. Futures down ahead of Monday's open. Today, the KOSPI started out higher, but in the end was a little bit lower. What's the story in the markets?
Okay, well, as you mentioned, the U.S. markets did very, very well. But the big mystery is that, there was a big protest insurrection on the United States, Washington, D.C. on January 6th, and that didn't seem to affect the market at all. The U.S. market on January 6th actually had a very high increase. So Dow rose on January 6th, the day of the insurrection, by 1.4% and hit an historical high, which actually went higher on Thursday and Friday, and S&P rose by 0.6%. NASDAQ fell, but it didn't fall more than the trend that it's shown earlier in the day. Now, the insurrection, the riots began at 3 p.m., market closed on 4 p.m., but on all three major indices, you didn't see that much of a change when the riots started. So I was watching Bloomberg newscast at the time, and the analyst for the stock market was amazed himself that the riots, the insurrection, didn't seem to affect the markets at all. But anyhow, after January 6th, on the 7th and 8th, all indices rose, and that could probably be attributed to the confidence that the insurrection, the riots have been put down. But as you mentioned, perhaps because it has been hitting high on Friday, the futures seem to be down today. The market seems to be heading down probably when it opens today, probably for profit-taking by the investors. Now, the European markets, again, they seem to be following the lead from the U.S. market. So CAC, FTSE, DAX all rose from Wednesday. Asian markets, Nikkei rose very strongly from Thursday, hitting historical highs. Hang Seng rose very slowly, but it rose. Strangely enough, the only major market which fell after the United States riots on January 6th was Shanghai. It fell slightly last week, and it fell about 1.08% today. And Korean market, today, there was a massive sell-off by institutions and foreigners. Institutions sold about 3.7 trillion won worth of stocks. Foreigners sold about 0.7 trillion won's worth of stock. And even though the individual investors bought more than 4 trillion won, it was not enough to stop the downfall in the market. It fell by 0.11% and ended today at 3,148.63. It's likely profit-taking after the KOSPI market hit a record high on Friday and rose 4% on Friday alone. It was a weekday for KOSDAQ. It fell 1.12% to 976.97. Unlike the KOSPI market, which started strongly and then became weak throughout the day, KOSDAQ started lower and it just kept falling.
All right, Professor, we're a little bit tight on time today, so we're going to have to leave it there, and we'll catch up again later in the week. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you.